Hi Ubies. So this video I want to share with you about some food I dehydrate. So I grow a lot of stuff in the garden, and a lot of the time there's so much of it I can't eat it all fresh, so I do like to preserve it by dehydrating it. But what I really have set a goal over this summer is to dehydrate some herbs and stuff from the garden for herbal infusions or a herbal tea. I really love drinking them. So there's stuff I grow out there that I want to dehydrate and put up so I can drink it all year long. Every time I try and film content, my family and dogs decide that that's the best time to make all the noise. So all I use is one of these dehydrators. Just bought it from the local electrical shop, and it's got 5 trays in it. And so this is some basil I did this morning. Just takes a couple of hours. You just put the fresh washed basil in the trays, turn the dehydrator on. It's just like a fan that blows. And I have dried basil. I've made oodles of pesto, so I still had loads and loads of basil left in the garden. So I thought I'd dry that for later. But there's other stuff I dry. So oranges from an orange tree. Quite often I get too many to eat, so I like to dry them. These are delicious in gin. Also do lime. I've done things like spring onions. So it just smells really oniony. So you can powder this up in like a coffee grinder or a blender or a Thermomix or something like that, and it gives you like onion powder. This is special. This is tomato dust. So when I preserved some tomatoes, I kept the skins. I dried the skins and I grinded them up, and this is delicious, really tomatoey concentrated. This is some spinach I dehydrated, and I'm going to use this for green smoothies. And this is some chamomile. So I grow the chamomile flowers out in the garden, and all I do is dehydrate that, and I use that for herbal infusions. So I've got some oregano that I've pulled out of the garden today that's ready to go in the dehydrator, but I'm also going to do some things that I can turn into herbal teas, and I'm going to show you some videos of me harvesting that and how I dry that and then how I use it. So I just use like a little tea infuser like this. You put the tea in the little canister in the middle, you put boiling water in it, and you just let it steep, and you can drink it hot, or I like this one because it's glass. You can put it straight in the fridge and have it cold. So I'm going to go out into the garden and I'm going to pull out some stuff that I'm going to use for herbal teas. So I hope you enjoy the video. I've just come outside because it's been so hot today. Haven't felt like doing anything out here. But what I've done is I've watered the garden because it's been looking a bit sad. And I've come out looking for things that I can pick and dehydrate for tea. So what I've got here is the strawberry bed. So I thought I could pick some strawberry leaves to dehydrate for tea, and I've also got raspberries, and I have some chamomile. So watch me do that. Here's my strawberries. I've had heaps of strawberries this year. I've never grown strawberries before, so the garden bed has filled out massively. So next year I'm hoping to get even more. You can see a little one down in there. So when I'm looking for leaves for tea, I think I'm looking for these young looking ones, nice and green and juicy. Want to avoid any of the older looking leaves, anything that's sort of been damaged by pests, or that's just looking a bit sad and old and crispy. These ones are good. So what I'm going to do is dehydrate these. See the pretty strawberry flowers? I've also got pink strawberry flowers. So the other thing I collect is chamomile. So I've got German chamomile growing out here, really good in herbal tea. all I do is take the tops off these mature flowers like that, collect them all up. The shrub here just goes nuts, falls all over, it's everywhere, but I get heaps and heaps of flowers, so I dehydrate them as well. I also have some lemon myrtle growing in a pot. It gets too big for me to put in the ground. It will grow into a massive tree, but the lemon myrtle leaves are really good in tea. They're delicious. Here's the lemon myrtle. It's looking a bit sunburnt. So all I do is pick a few leaves and I have that in tea too. So I'm going to make some tea with the herbs that I've dried, and I'm going to do two types of tea. I'm going to do a hot tea to have now, and then in this one I'll do a brew that I'll pop in the fridge to have cold because it's really hot, and I really like drinking this cold. It's really refreshing with some ice, and it just takes a while to cool down in the fridge. So for this one, I'm using some fresh lemon balm from the garden, which I've just washed and popped in here. And then to the strainer, I'm going to add some mint and some lemon myrtle. So this is the lemon myrtle seeds that I've dried. So a few of them. And I'm going to add a fresh strawberry from the garden, which I've just sort of crush up a little bit, and a bit of dehydrated orange. So I love having this dehydrated orange around. It goes beautifully in tea, and it's really nice in gin, but it's January, so I'm off the gin all January, so I'm drinking lots of tea. So there you go. It just goes together like that. And then for the teapot, if I can get the lid off, I'm going to add these strawberry leaves. So I dried these strawberry leaves earlier. In the dehydrator, I've also got some raspberry leaves. And these are supposed to be good for women of a certain age. So they go in, and I also dried some chamomile, so I'm going to pop some of them in. So all I do with both of these, add some hot water, lid on, just let that seep for about 5 or 10 minutes. Same with this one, I let it cool down and just come to room temperature, pop it in the fridge, and in a couple of hours it'll be nice and cold, and I'll have it over some ice. You can even put a bit more fresh fruit in that. It's delicious. Or even when I put it with ice, like sometimes I'll put some finger lime in there, and that's delicious. So if you like herbal infusions, iced teas, this is a great idea to use the herbs in your garden. It's delicious.